Hello family and friends, it's Kanoi. I am back with my completed Happy Planner junk journal. I did a small flip through before it was complete on my Instagram, but I thought, okay, well now that it's pretty much unusable because it is so fat, I figured I would go ahead and do a flip through. So this journal I actually made intentionally for summer. I wasn't a fan of all of this. If you've seen my other videos, you will have known this already when I first created this. But I wanted to do something with this Happy Planner notebook. And I thought, well, I'll just make a quick summer book. Well, honestly, this only lasted me 1 month. And I don't know if it's that we did a lot of stuff or what, but it definitely filled up pretty quickly. So I'll just go through what is in here. This is just a photo that we took up in Mount Charleston. We went up there for a picnic, just a day picnic. This is a cutout from my daughter's summer booklet that she had from school. And it just reminded me of something from when I was younger. I remember filling this out and loving it. And then I just did some journaling on the back and sewed a piece of fabric on here. And some of this is a repeat from my original video when I went through, because some of this stuff obviously was in here, but I have filled it out since then. And then this is just a little printable that I printed out. I want to say this was like a stock image or something, but I just thought it was really cute. It reminded me of my family. And these puffy stickers that you see are all from the Dollar Tree. This is, we had so many beautiful flowers that were popping up during the spring, and we got a dog. So every time we would go walk her, I kept picking the flowers because they were so pretty. And then I decided to test out pressing flowers in the microwave, and it actually worked out really well. It takes like a minute as opposed to having to press flowers over the course of 5 months or whatever it takes. So I just laminated them and used this to make kind of a window page. And I had some friends visit us from Hawaii and they brought us some homemade jam. So I took a photo of that and just journaled about it. This was a page that was already in the Happy Planner as one of the dividers, and then I just took a piece of ephemera and pasted it to the tab. More stickers, and I created a tuck spot, but there's nothing there. And then I put my son's ID from last year. I know he's a sixth grader, so he doesn't really care to keep that. He's like, get me out of the 6th grade and let's move on with life. And then this, I just kind of kept some notes from this particular week in June, some of the things that we were doing. And then here is our positive COVID test. We ended up all getting knocked out. And it was funny because my dog, it's like she knew that we were sick and she was laying on my head at one point. So I think someone took that photo. Someone must have taken that photo because I was sleeping. And then I took a photo of my husband sleeping out in the 100-degree heat by the pool with a blanket. That's how cold we were. And then this is an envelope from one of Johanna's journaling kits and one of her labels. And this is just a piece of sari that I got. I bought some sari scraps from India, and this is the label that came on the package. And then I just did some journaling on this piece of paper here. This is another piece of packaging that is in this, was in the package, on the package. And then this is just a postcard that I got from F45. That's where I work out. And this is just a small picture. I took a picture of some of the scraps that came, and they are so beautiful. I forget the name of the shop, but I can link it below if anybody's interested. And then a little Trader Joe's card from a friend who always gives us Trader Joe's cards every time we give him a ride home from the airport. This page here is from the Flow magazine. Apparently, I think they're from the UK and they're so expensive, but the pages are so cute. Every single page is different, and it's a book for paper lovers. I think it's originally a magazine, but they created books. They come out with one every single year, and I swear if you buy them on eBay, they're like $70. It's pretty crazy. So I just kept track of, this was the June page there, June, and I kind of just did a one thing for every day of June. Well, most days. I missed a couple of days. And then we took my dog to the dog park for the first time, so I took a photo of her with her beagle friend. And I believe I have a process video of this up, and I just did some journaling on one of Johanna's cards from her journaling kit once again. And these were some more photos that I was taking photos of around our pathway that we have here in Vegas. So I wrote Colors of Summerlin. And this is a children's book page that I just thought was really cute. Another printable doily from Little Bindi or Johanna. And then I just did some journaling. I painted a little bit of acrylic paint here on this page, and then did some journaling with white pen. And then this was just a really cute card that came with a vanity mirror that I bought, the Ricky mirrors. So cute. And I just didn't want to give it up. And so this is just a little vellum pocket and a monogram sticker. I think I actually glued it down so that if I ever wanted to actually use this sticker somewhere, I could. They're only $1 or $2, so I don't know why I would ever do that. But, and then this is a pocketed flip out page. I did some decoupage here and just some pictures of the last day of school with my daughter, her in the pool. And then I have some journaling cards here. Oh, my son's championship game. It was pretty interesting because this was his first time ever playing football. This is flag football, and they started out like the Bad News Bears. I mean, they were terrible. It was almost comical how bad they were. And the team that beat them in their very first game, where they looked like the Bad News Bears, they ended up playing them in the championship game in the end. So it was really special. They didn't feel bad at all. They were so proud of themselves for getting to the championship game because they didn't end up winning it. But at one point they were actually beating the kids, so it was pretty neat. And these are vintage reference cards that I got at a library bookstore in Hawaii. And I believe it was from like a Hawaiian studies class or something. So I thought it was fitting for summer. And then just did some journaling on this. This was an old card. I forget the name of this girl, but I used to subscribe to some of her planner stuff. So it's really cute. Okay. And then this is a book page that I put a piece of tracing paper over. And I just did some journaling about what achievement means, and then a scripture. This is actually a scarf from the Dollar Tree, I think, or Daiso, one of the two, and I just bunched it up and sewed it on. But I actually won an award at work, and it's just interesting. Like, the older I get, the less I care about accolades and things like that. It's not that I'm not proud of them, I am, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like without my family and without God, none of those things really matter anyway. And so I've just been kind of thinking about it a lot lately because I'm actually leaving my family to go on a trip, and I'm so sad. I have so much anxiety about it. This is really cute. This was, my daughter drew this, and it was actually like a year ago that she did this, but we had birds at the time, and she drew all of these pictures of all of us in the bird's nest, and they're all really special because she made our beaks like an orange color, flesh tone, and she made her and her daddy's, my son and her daddy's beaks like a blue. You can't see it, it looks black, but she was trying to make it like a dark blue color because that's how you, I guess, determine whether or not a bird is a female or a male. And then here's our little family portrait. And these were so cute. I could never give these away just because of the way that the details, like the kids are in the nest and the parents are not. Just the littlest things, that will make you so happy. And then this was from a garland from the Dollar Tree, and I just did a little currently list, some of the things that I'm currently doing, loving, watching, reading, all of that. This is actually a Trader Joe's. It was a pineapple tea, and I just liked that image, so I cut it out, put a piece of burlap behind that. Here is a Hawaii page from an atlas. This, I don't know if you would say it's vintage, but it definitely looks like it's from the 70s or 80s, the way that the picture is. And a baggage claim check. No, not a baggage claim. This was when I serviced my car. And I kept this business card. I don't usually keep stuff like this. Well, not always. I don't keep everything, but this one was really special because this man was so sweet, and I was having like really neat conversations with him. I guess he he had lived in Hawaii or something. So he was so sweet, and I had some Starbucks that morning. So I just kind of wanted to remember the day because I had a really good time talking to him. Here are some stickers from Trader Joe's that one of the workers gave to my daughter, and of course she's not going to do anything with it, so I just stuck them in here and did some journaling on this card. And this is a pocket, I think. Wait. Oh no, this is, some journaling of my son and my dog, and then some things in this little gift baggie. Got a little journaling card that I made. We went on a trip, and this was, I wish I'd bought this, but this was the front page of this Paper Dolls book, and it said the Gibson Girls, and that's my maiden name, and I really should have bought this. I don't know why I didn't. So at least I took a photo of I could always order it, I guess. And just this noodle place. I kept this receipt because this noodle place was really neat, from Anaheim Packing House. And then this is just a gift card that a friend gave to us to go and eat the buffet at the South Point Hotel and Casino. This is a postcard from Peggy Sue's Diner, which was on our way. We went on a road trip to California, and this was our receipt from the meal. It was actually really good. And then I took a photo in the bathroom just because it was really funny. And then here I took some photos of Anaheim Packing House, and this is another page or another cutout from that Trader Joe's drink. And then there was this adorable little stand in Anaheim Packing House that I bought some earrings from. They were so adorable. They were only $5. I couldn't believe it. But they were all handmade, and so I just kept the packaging, and I took a picture of the... So this is a really great way, like, to... Yeah, you wouldn't think to take a picture of the earrings you bought, but this is a really great way to remember things that you may have bought that were really special or that you really liked. And this is just our parking ticket. And this is all about our road trip. So I took this with me on our trip, and what I did was I took out an atlas page because I didn't want to bring my entire craft supply with me. So I took this page here, and I just did, basically along the way, did my journaling on this. So I have a little journaling card here, another receipt from Eddie World. Eddie World is another really neat place if you're traveling between Vegas and Los Angeles or California. And just a photo of us in the car. We actually bought lottery tickets. We're not gamblers, but we just said, oh, when are we ever gonna be in the lotto? So here's a printable doily from Johanna's shop, Little Bindi. And then this was actually a magazine page that I just taped on here because it said enjoy the journey. And I wrote in here a quote of my son saying, how am I supposed to find anything in this black hole, when I was asking him to get something for me in the car during our road trip. So I thought it was pretty funny. I wanted to remember the fact that he said that. This is just a pocket, fabric pocket. This fabric was actually from the Dollar Tree, but I did see this fabric at Hobby Lobby, I want to say, or Michael's. It was there, and so I thought, wow, okay. You know, things you can buy at the Dollar Tree. Some photos of my kids at the Great Wolf Lodge. This is some packaging from, I believe, the soap, and then just our wristbands and the hotel. This is really cute. I don't know if I was supposed to take this, so I apologize if I wasn't, but I thought that was really adorable. The do not disturb sign. And then just some photos of us along the way on that road trip. And then this one is about Knott's Berry Farm. So here we've got the tickets. I think I had this glued on here, but it came off, so that's fine. We actually stayed at the Knott's Berry Farm Hotel, but the funny story is that we got to Knott's Berry, we rode the rides, it was so hot, we went to go check into our hotel at about 4, and we were there in that room for about 10 minutes, and we said, let's go home. So we never even stayed in the hotel itself. We just stayed in it for 10 minutes, cooled off, and started driving back. Because the real reason is that we missed our dog. So I actually took a picture of all of us heading out the door saying peace out. It was the first time we were boarding our dog, so it was like super emotional for us to leave her. And this is packaging, the sticker that is on like Bath and Body Works candles. I always like to, you know, have little, I don't know, recollections of what I was burning at the time. I kind of am a creature of habit. I buy the same ones over and over, but this one was a new scent, Fiji White Sands, that I started liking. And then this spread here is all about my daughter's birthday. We went to Build-A-Bear. Here is some wrapping paper from a gift that she got. I think something's in here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, here. Oh, I couldn't remember what I did. So here's some photos of our time at Build-A-Bear. And this is one of those little frames from Little Bindi. And just did some journaling. Her and her uncle who bought her the Build-A-Bear certificate. And then we went and had ice cream at a different ice cream shop. So we just journaled about that. And this is a principle from Little Bindi as well. And this is the most adorable menu from the restaurant that we ate at. She wanted to eat here because our dog, they actually serve your dog food, like fresh food. So that was her birthday wish. She wanted to go to this restaurant. And this is the kids menu and it's so cute. So I had to keep it. Another page from that Flow magazine book. And this was the first day that my daughter had gymnastics conditioning and she passed out in the car because it was so intense. And then this is the weather forecast for the week of June 27th. And this is when we first started seeing the triple digits. Well, not the first time we saw triple digits, but the first time that it was heading up to like 109. So that was pretty intense, that heat. And then I just did some journaling on this journaling page here. Oh no, this was Bible study. I was doing some Bible study here. And I sometimes like to keep the sushi chopsticks. I like to keep the packaging from our favorite sushi places. We call this one our home break. It's not our favorite sushi restaurant, but it's good and it's consistent and it's close to our house. So we pretty much go to this one a lot. And I just took a picture of our sushi that day. I don't always journal about where we eat. We eat out a lot, but when we eat with someone special or someone different or anything like that, you know, I do like to make note of that. And this is a page from the mantra journal. And I just wanted to put it in my journal for maybe when I was traveling and I had some time to just sit and think and I could maybe do some journaling. I only did a little bit, but I love this magazine. It's really, really cute. You know, there's so many things that you could cut out and make like journal cards or put into your junk journals. And then we discovered a new little park here in Vegas called Floydland Park. And we ended up going up there to have a picnic. So I took lots of really cute photos of the park itself. There was so much nature. And then just did some journaling on that flashcard. And this was a card that a friend sent to me. So I have that in there. And then I also discovered that you can actually get free swatches of fabric online. Like somewhere between, I don't know, 10 to 15 swatches or something. So one of them is Regal Drapes. Ding, ding, ding. If anybody is interested, they'll probably stop once they find out that we junk journalers are stealing all of their fabric samples. And here is my wallflower that I currently have in my home. And then just some more photos of us at that park. There were so many cute things that I felt like I needed. You know, when you have a million photos and just to have a couple in here, it's really hard. This is just a piece of vellum from a planner I had before. And then we discovered a new donut shop here. That's the fun thing about when you move, like you find new places to eat and new things. So my husband took me on a donut date. I always laugh because that's his way of getting me to go run errands with him. He'll be like, hey, you want to go on a date, breakfast date, or you want to go on a lunch date? So whatever. I always say, if I love food, it's a good motivator. I love my husband too, but it's just a tag. But yeah, if he asks me to go out to eat, I'm going to jump. And these were just some stickers from the donut box. And this was happy 14th. Oh, it was our 14th anniversary. So we went to, oh, I forgot we did this. We went to the, what is this called? Excalibur, the Tournament of Kings. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I actually hosted a segment on the TV show that I used to be on. Couldn't remember the name of it though. Tournament of Kings. I wanted my children to experience this, and my husband. They didn't get to come with me when I filmed it, so I thought it was really cool. And it was fun, a fun time. And then here's a little Park Lane card from Joann's, and we found a pediatrician for my kids. So I journaled about that. Not the fact that we went to the doctor, but just some of the things that were exciting. Like my son, we found out he's really tall for his age, and my daughter's actually really short for her age. So those are just things that I noted in there. And then this is a little journal card that I made about, it's been on my heart to start a Bible study, so I haven't done it yet. The more I talk about it, the more anxious I get because I haven't done it. And then this was some packaging, not packaging, but the packing slip from Jet Pens. And I thought it was really cute because there's this little comic here. And then these were some of the washi tapes that I picked up, the William Morris washi tapes. I had seen these on Johanna's YouTube, and I think I may have even asked her one time, where did you get that wide washi tape? And I don't think I ever got a response. So I was just searching and searching and searching, and I finally figured out that it's William Morris washi tape. So I bit the bullet and got some because they are $10 a roll, and that's, to me, is way too much money to spend on a washi tape, but they're pretty thick, so it's worth it. And they're really sticky and really durable. These are from Daiso. They came in a pack. There's like a lemon, a kiwi, and they're really thin. I think they're meant for maybe collaging or something like that. And so I just put it through the laminator and then did some journaling around it with a buka. Again, it was one of those like special times that we ate out. And here we went to Mount Charleston. It was really hot, so we wanted to kind of get away from the heat. So we went up to the mountain. It was only 79 degrees up there. It was so beautiful, such a beautiful day. And we had a little picnic up there. So I just did some journaling about that. My daughter was picking some flowers. It was really sweet. Just a really sweet time. And of course, anytime I could get my whole family together to smile, it's a miracle. So every picture that I take with us four, I will stick it in my journal because it's a miracle that I even got them to smile in one photo. And then here's some more pictures about her birthday. We went to have ice cream, one of our favorites, Thrifty. Here is, here's a picture from Mount Charleston, and that was, I guess you have to pay. We had to pay to get in. But now I'm thinking we didn't have to pay if we are a resident. I'm finding out all these little tricks about living in Vegas, like you don't have to pay for parking, all these things, I don't know. I have been on a cooking trip lately, so we were trying to challenge ourselves to stay home and not eat out. And I told my family that they could choose whatever they wanted to challenge me to cook, because I actually really like to cook. So one day it was birria tacos, so I made that. And then another day it was Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets, and I attempted that. They really liked it, so it was just fun. And then this was from the package of a cookie skillet that we had. Not homemade, obviously. Then I was just trying out this was the first time I was trying out the blending with those blending brushes and a stencil. And then so I figured just take away the stark whiteness of this hymnal, and it worked out really good. This piece of vellum is actually from an old planner from Live Life Create, Florence. And I love it so much, so I did not want to let it just sit in a box of scraps. And I just have like to-do list, notes, some Bible study notes here. This is a little flashcard that my daughter made at school, and she gave it to me. She's like, here, mommy. So I thought that was sweet. And then I bought a typewriter off of Facebook Marketplace, a vintage one. And it's kind of funny because as I was testing it out, I realized that the alignment is all off. So I have to figure out how to fix that. I refuse to spend money to try to fix it because I'm like, it's a vintage typewriter and I could have bought one that was already working. So my pride is there and I'm like, I will fix it. I fixed my sewing machine 3 times. I can fix it. I'm gonna go to YouTube University. We'll figure it out. And this was just a little notebook that I made out of some scraps, and I just did some journaling in that. And this was a newsletter from my son's band trip that he took. They ended up winning in California. They went to Knott's Berry Farm, which kind of was the reason why we ended up going back, because he loved it so much. And here I just made a little belly band on this envelope. I thought these envelopes were really cute. And lots of journaling. I did a really cool reel because I do makeup, and so I wanted to kind of take note of that one because I thought it was neat. Oh, and this is funny. So I, for the longest time, would not buy the mom shorts. I just couldn't do it. I'm not comfortable in them. I don't like the feeling of shorts above my belly button. I don't like the way they look. I feel like it gives me a belly more than I already have. And I ended up giving in because that's all I could find at the store. And I ended up buying some. And it ended up not being so bad. Like they're pretty cute. But I wanted to put this in here because obviously eventually, the trend will change. It's already probably changing. I just don't know. And I just thought it would be neat to have a little piece of this era of fashion. And then here is a piece of vellum that I had from an old planner. This is a home interior magazine page. I took an article from a People magazine about Maverick because we went to go watch it, and nowadays all your tickets at the movie they're electronic, so I don't have a ticket stub anymore, and that makes me sad. So this was my way of remembering that we went to this movie. I guess that's it. And here I just have some odds and ends from the time that I served for the first time at church. This was a piece from Little Bindi or Johanna's journaling kits. And then this I actually just stapled on today because I'm making a new junk journal right now, my next junk journal. And I was wanting to, this was the first time I've ever embossed, and I was wanting to emboss straight onto my journaling or my journal title page or my cover, but I was scared. So I tested it out first on this piece of deli paper, and I thought, well, maybe I can decoupage it onto the journal cover. I decoupaged a little trim right onto my cover, and it looked so terrible. Thank God I only did that little piece and I was able to get it off. And then I tried to emboss straight onto the journal cover, and that didn't work either. You'll see it once if you end up watching the video. I'm actually creating a video about the creation of the journal I'm making, so I will probably put that part in there. And then here my husband and I were serving at church, and Junk Journal July just took a photo of when I created the Junk Journal July journal. So, which I'm not sure why I did that. I mean, obviously I'm going to have the journal. I don't know. It's okay. Whatever floats our boats. Okay. And then this is just some journaling that I did and a little Rae Dunn tag. I bought a lot of Rae Dunn items for our house, like towels and stuff like that when we first moved in. And then I just did a little June, July recap of some of the things. And as I was going through this, I realized I didn't write that on some of the things on here, but this was just a little notepad that I got from a friend, and what is this? Some packaging. I don't know what that is. Squeezy pea catchers. I think that was just sticking to this Tootsie Roll package. I'm obsessed with Tootsie Rolls. So this was the biggest Tootsie Roll I've ever bought. So I saved the packaging. And then this was a letter that I got from my company. I believe it was a congratulatory letter. They always recognize us when we reach certain goals or exceed them or do anything good. They're so good about that. And then here is another one of those pieces from Daiso, the papers that I laminated, and I put a little brad on here so it could just be a little fun interactive piece. And it just so happened that I had a lemon paper as well as this card that I got from my friend Candace. She just wrote a cookbook, and so I just journaled about that. This is actually a piece from Little Bindy's shop. And here is the postage that she sent me her cookbook in. And I actually took a picture with the cookbook and everything, but I think I put it in my July journal. So I probably should have put it here. It would have made more sense. And just a picture of my dog. I have so many photos of her with things in her mouth, and it's almost becoming super comical. She's such a goofball. And here I created a little, whatever this is, window type of thing with Johanna's journaling kit. So this is meant to be like this, I believe. And then we were working together one night for my husband's and my fishing company. We were folding t-shirts, and we had my kids involved in it. So I wanted to remember that. We don't make them work often, so when they do, it's kind of something to note. And then here are just a couple of notes that I made on this avocado dyed paper. And then just did some journaling on these journaling cards. My niece came to visit us, so the kids had some fun. And then this is another one of the dividers that was already in the Happy Planner. And then these back pages, so this is the paper that came in this Happy Planner notebook, and I just kept some of them in there so that I could have everything. I love the idea of having everything in one place, like my journaling, my regular journaling, my to-do lists, my Bible study. I like to have everything, because it just makes sense to be able to know like how God is talking to me, and then also how it's applying to my life, like when events are happening. So for that, I loved this Happy Planner junk journal. I wasn't looking forward to it, honestly, but I love the amount of space that was on these pages. So for my next journal, I actually am making a larger junk journal. Junk journal July was actually small, and I realized I love, love, love this size. These are my sermon notes. So I would take this with me to church, but as it started getting thicker, I actually had to just take a page with me. So you can see I folded this one and stuck it in my Bible. I just would take a blank page. But another reason why I love this Happy Planner idea, because you can take pages out, you can move things around if you want, you can add things in. So I absolutely loved that. So that is the end of that. Anyway, if you have any questions about how I created this, it's not really rocket science. I mean, the only thing I did different was I did buy the 1.5 inch discs. That's the only thing that I did differently. Otherwise, it was all pretty much set and ready to go. I just took the pages out and added whatever I wanted in. I do have I believe it's the Tool, TUL punch for the holes, or for the disc slots. So that makes life a lot easier. You obviously would need that. I've seen other people do it where I want to say they punch a hole and then they slit each hole, but that's just a lot of work. So I went ahead and bought the punch, because I used to use the Tool planner and the Happy Planner. So anyway, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I am posting a little bit more consistently now, so that's really exciting. Having a lot of fun and really enjoying the community here on YouTube. That, I've been conversing with some people who, are new to the channel. So thank you for those of you who have subscribed. And if you do subscribe, thank you in advance. So I'll see you on the next one. I believe that will be my junk journal cover for my next journal. All right, aloha.